Week 4, day 2, about hour 5 and a bit, I think. We're going to all 12 games this weekend,
Yeah,
Bryce.
we've done it. We've absolutely done it. Game number 12 coming up very shortly.
Order Direwolves. Direwolves commanding victory game 1.
Yep.
Good gank on bottom side in that turret dive. Game 2, however, Thresh for Rogue. Yeah. What did he say against the Chiefs?
Ban Thresh.
Maybe
I learned
Direwolves
that
should
the hard way.
be paying attention.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, this is a new look Direwolves. They got 2 new players, right? And maybe they didn't get the memo.
Yeah, apparently
Maybe
not. I think that the other thing that we need to talk about is the stubbornness of Schönfire to not pick up a QSS in that game.
Yeah, to put it bluntly, Schön's performance from game 1 to game 2 just fell off a cliff, to be honest. He was just detrimental to Direwolves in game 2. As soon as he failed that bot gank at about level 3, when he died in that one, and Spooks was on about 10% HP, but they still lose that 3v3, I think it was just lights out from there.
Because that was such a strange game, because we're like, the flay didn't go through, Schön gets a double knock-up, we're like, this is going to be it. But Rogue is just so good at knowing when he can be aggressive, when he needs to be defensive, and just pulled in Schön, able to transfer a fresh double buff to Spooks. And really, this game has just been all about who can win harder, Triple or like everyone else on the order lineup. And Triple, unfortunately, was trying real hard to win, but just could not get him over the line.
Yeah, I mean, everyone but Swiffer, he's had a rough few early games, I think, so far. So
his late game was good, however. I think that play on King is really easy to overlook.
Yep.
Where he just never grasps him, cancels the ultimate, walks away.
Yep.
And then is able to win the mid lane team fight. I mean, sure, there was a person down, but potentially if that's only 1 or 2 down, they stall.
It's not a flashy play, but it's something that actually comes up huge and something you don't really see very often. So Swiffer, despite being put significantly behind game 1 and game 2, coming into game 3 after a decent performance in the late game, but we're into picks and bans already. Have to see if Order do ban away the Gangplank now. Yeah. We've decided that it's just unbeatable. It's so OP. It's just obnoxious, and they do. There we go. Goodbye. Farewell.
No Kha'Zix hitting the bench, however, means that it can be picked right now for the Direwolves. Malzahar also still up and available. Alistar, the other pick. Alistar Kalista is available.
Yeah, has Kalista been available every single game of this series? It has. Game 1 was played. Game 2, not played, but was available. And then game 3 still up here.
I mean, potentially don't want to take it just because Zaya Ricard is still up and available. However, I feel like Kelly Star is
pretty good.
Pretty damn good.
But Zaya Khan's still available as well. If you pick something like the Kalista Alley, could be answered straight away with something just as potent in the lane phase. Tally going to lock in that Alistar for Rogue.
Can you take Zaya Alistar and make them play Kalista Rakan? Which one lane's better? Who, if you split up the
Kalista
lovers
Rakan,
and the
100%.
Okay.
Kalista Rakan. Kalista Alistar, Zaya Alistar. Very little synergy there. But Kalista Rakan, very potent engage tool as they don't actually pick up any 80 carry. It's on.
And straight away, Chippy says, stuff this. Give me the best split pusher in the game. You don't want to come to my lane? Well, I'm not going to your lane anymore. I'm over it.
Yep, 100%. As they do lock into Taric as the answer to the alley. But the big thing is that Cupcake this series has not played anything other than the alley so far. So Rogue, after a great performance on Thresh, it is still available. But obviously as a blind pick is pretty brave. They do lock that one in to take away. Answered with the Taric and now the Malzahar.
Yeah, and I think that this is a good pick because all of a sudden you have a real potent way of locking down Schön again. We saw how valuable the Nethergrass was in the fact that everyone had to buy QSSs, so it's a 4,000 gold ultimate at the worst of time.
Is that Order's game plan coming into game 3? Just like, we're just going to kill Schön. Hey guys, kill Schön.
I think it is, yeah.
Potentially.
He is a very vocal member of the team. Like they subscribe to the Book of Schönfire. When you see your god killed over and over again before you, it makes mere mortals tremble. Bryce.
Yep, they do. Order, ban away the Talia, but also respect the Vlad, despite the fact that Camille is locked in.
Yeah, potentially, you know, looking towards that Vladimir mid lane. I keep talking about it, but Triple is just a fantastic Vladimir. Put him on a hard carry this game. Could be something for them. And it's actually going to be the Direwolves taking away both the Kha'Zix and the Jarvan, so giving respect to Spooks.
A lot of jungle bans have hit the bench right now. Spooks still has options open, though. There's that Zac, of course.
Kalista still up. Tristana's still up.
Yep.
Interested to see what they go for.
But also in terms of game 1 to 2, Swiffer got punished in the lane phase game 1 as they're looking to hover Zaya right now. They do lock it in. But game 2, same sort of thing happened. But because he's on the Malzahar, he still has that team fight presence, still has that late game presence. So taking away the Malzahar, Triple's most played champion this split, seems like a worthwhile strategy They do that one again.
More. Ooh, that would be really interesting from King. I would like to see it. King is such a good hard carry player.
Yep.
I think it's actually a skill that we don't talk about very much because he does play defensive lanes all the time.
He's
but
played
his
a lot
twitch,
of like Varus, but his Kog'Maw, he was playing Kog'Maw when it was on the fringe of meta, and he was the only one picking it. But no, they go for the same comp. They go for the Corki. They go for the Ezreal, this time without the engage of the Alistar. So I think potentially they might struggle here.
This is such an order comp. How many go buttons have we got? Can I play Nidalee jungle?
Ooh, actually.
No, give me more go buttons.
No, it's still a go button. It's a different one. Doesn't have quite as much range there. 5 seconds, but hovering between the two. We have seen a bit of Skarner so far internationally and domestically, but it's going to be the Zorn Amorphous Combatant once again for Spooks. I really like that one. I really like that one.
Yeah, that's like my bristle fact. I like the fact that Sejuani's boar is called bristle.
Yeah, you say it all the time.
I say it all the time.
Yep.
Because when you say like Sejuani running into battle, it's like actually not. Bristle's the one doing all the hard work.
Yep, so he's just whacking people with a flail. But in terms of the compositions right here, you mentioned all the engage potential coming out of Order. Direwolves have this comp again. That is pretty slippery, to be honest, but Order have a lot of sticking power there. So these team fights going to be pretty hard in terms of Order engaging. They want to be able to bait out that Taric ulti. That's the big thing. You want to be a good team needs to be able to play around that. So they're going to throw either the Ornn ulti or Spooks into the fray there.
And that's all you're looking for.
Yep.
You look for it. If you kidnap 1 or 2 people, you can guarantee ulti goes out. And then you just slow play the fight, get some feathers out, and then call in
Cavalry,
the Forge God,
call in the cow.
The Forge God, the cow.
Yep.
The ram and the bull.
Yeah.
Get them in there.
Double animalistic combo. They've stolen it away from Shern. They've stolen his instincts and then picked them on their side of the rift for Order. But in saying that, we have seen this Corki Ezreal be very successful for the Direwolves especially.
When was the last time Direwolves lost the best of 3?
Not too sure. I mean, Gauntlet would have been best of 5s.
Yeah, and they won
So
those.
it wouldn't have been that. I mean, they only played the one. They made it to the grand final, so they won both of those. Would have been a very long time ago, at least a year. Before Schönfire was on the team, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, Chiefs weren't able to pick up a game versus them. Did Sin ever beat them? Sin upset everyone last year.
I don't think they upset Direwolves, though. I think they upset Chiefs. They upset AV.
Because Direwolves finished top twice.
Yep.
And then won both grand finals. We are on to Summoner's Rift for game number 3. It is the Wolfpack of the Direwolves. Life is good for them. They are the defending champions. They're going up against Melbourne Order. Love shouting out sponsors, by the way. I'm a seller.
You're real good at it, man.
Yeah.
Real good at it. As they get the 5-point fan along the rift. That is a disgusting Zac color. Get it off my rift. Come on, Spooks. What are you doing? Normally, he's the red Zac, the SKT Zac, you know, eating the bloblets, but...
So the reason he now likes this Zac skin, I can give you some insight.
Okay, give me the insight.
He likes how tiny Zac's bum is. Because
he's got real, look top lane.
Fat,
look top
he's got
lane.
real fat arms and calves.
Yep.
And then he's just got the tiniest bum in all of League of Legends.
I haven't heard that reasoning for a skin before. That's a new one.
So he finds it real funny when he just has...
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can absolutely see that coming out of the jungler. For Order in Spooks.
See, look, it's non-existent. Big feet, big calves, big forearms, huge shoulders and back.
Yep.
And tiny bum. He's a Dorito. That's what every guy wants to look like.
Yeah, you want to be the triangle.
Yeah.
But looking at the game, we have minion dematerializers on both sides of the bot lane.
We're
both
going to have a
supports.
leash for Spooks, however. He's going to start a wolf camp for himself.
Yeah, this is a weird one. We haven't seen this one yet this year, I don't think. The first one ever.
So, technically, Spooks doesn't need a blue buff for himself.
Yep.
So he has under no pressure to take it. Maybe he can give it over to Swiffer if he wants him to have a better early laning phase. But what he should do now is go towards Raptors and red buff because he clears them very quickly.
Yep. Zac's AoE.
Yeah, AoE on all of his abilities. See whether he hops over or whether he just grabs them.
Like a grab. Yep, grab. Stun. W. Going to pick up his bloblets. Just going to be farming these camps up as we see on the other side of the rift. Shern did actually start his buff on the red buff.
So Shern's going to jungle quicker, of course, because he's gone Hunter's Machete, which does buffs really quickly.
Yep.
And also the fact that he got given a leash. But idea behind this is obviously your bottom lane and your top lane. Hide your position. See where the Spooks. Yep, just goes for a ward over the wall. And Shern shouldn't really expect that he's jungling this slowly.
I mean, hiding your position on a jungler like Zac is just such a valuable tool there. Compared to someone like more traditional, like a Sejuani, her gank paths are pretty broadcast, whereas, oh, actually, Spooks might just be caught doing his red buff. Shern's going to see it.
Yeah, he pulls into the brush, which means he's leashed it as far as it can possibly go.
He's very low.
Very low. Shern
doesn't have a ward.
more. Actually, we'll get vision here. Will Spooks find it away? Yes, he does. will have to flash, or actually just goes in because in comes Tally. You can see on the other side, it's going to be Triple that leads the race. Kiting back towards Camille. That's unselfish play. Oh, actually going over. There are bloblets available, so that will be the flash. However, potentially now Tally has to flash as well. We'll just try and walk this one out.
Does. That's a big invade coming out of Shern. We hear Sharp talk about it time and time again. That's his style. He wants to get in there. Into Spook's jungle. He's looking to cancel, actually. Yeah,
I was going to say, if he stops the backs there, Tally's lane is donezo.
Freeze on the side of Chippy's right now. But because Shern fire.
And that's why I was so surprised. Actually, what the heck? Cupcake does not fall down. So low. One more auto attack would have done it. And they do have flash available on FBI. So if they wanted, could have picked that one up. However, now he's just going to be able to sustain through this lane. We don't see the start of that engage, but very low on both sides of the lane. Rogue tanking up the turret. Is a very tanky cow. Has that extra mastery, so he has 100 HP. Does a little bit less damage, but ignites burnt on both sides and flashes. Yeah, Rogue once again to get this one into the turret. You see maybe stun off coming from King. Not going to be the case. Order now looking for a recall. Potentially that can be smart. Actually, no, because they both have Spellbook, so I'll be quiet now. What I was going to say is if Tarek isn't running Spellbook, going for an early flash trade before level 6 can be quite smart.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
But he does. So unfortunately for Rogue, it's not going to be applicable just to yet. Spork? Sporks? You got that Bork joke stuck in my head. Bork? Spork? Spooks? Doing the Gromp, he started up the blue, decided against it, wants to give it to Swiffer. One thing you do have to point out is even though they got a winning trade, back timings, 38 CS versus 27 right now. Not to mention, FBI doesn't get to base for a good item, whereas Ezreal gets that early one for the tier, so not a bad trade for the Direwolves over there. I mean, that's where Xayah is kind of a little bit more flexible than other AD carries, though, because she's an Essence Reaver builder. Shern looking top lane. This is a big wave. Tally actually walked back. He is 2 levels lower than Chippies, and they're going to look for the dive. This is going to be Shern going in. Tally taking so much damage. Shern gets ignited up. Tally will actually flash under him. Chippy's very low. Will burn the flash as well, but first blood goes to the top laner of Direwolves. Shern fire only level 3, so he's very squishy, but such an impeccably played dive by the top side of the map for the Direwolves. They do back off. They know Spooks is coming. That's going to be a big wave missed by Tally. Once again, only 13 CS. 5 minutes into the game. Chippies is on 34. This is honestly how I thought Direwolves were going to play. Camp the heck out of Tally. Why would you not? You have such good gank setup. They've got layering of CC for days. Bottom lane can just stand up in the 2v2, as we're witnessing right now, although Cupcake takes a little bit of damage in response. Yeah, but they have more sustain on the side of the Tarek anyway, so these even trades is fine for this matchup. He has the TP as well, whereas Rogue did not switch his summoners out. He wants to keep that ignite. He wants to be able to kill them. They want to be able to force them to the bot side. Hex Slash, here we go. Yeah, gets out, headbutt pole combo. That will be instant, no auto attack thrown out. If you Q auto attack straight away, you can instant root with Xayah. Yep. Will not be the case. Maybe that's how it keeps happening, because we keep flicking down to this side of the map. And you don't catch the start of the engage, because he's just hex flashing out of the bush, getting that combo cheeky engage. Potentially, Rogue did base before, get himself those boots, so not opting for the quest gold, as Order setting up a dive on the top side. Yeah, Swiffer actually going to walk over a ward, however, so Chippy should just walk this one out. Question why Swiffer didn't go with Spooks and just flash the wall, look for an instant ulti, because it's a level 6 now versus a level 4. Yep, so that's one potential play out of Order that has fizzled with the Malzahar. They'll be looking to make some value out of that level 6 spike. With this, they just invade the blue buff. You can see Shern is in there already. Triple is coming over. See whether Order can defend this. Shern, actually, is a really far distance away, but has a level lead over Shern. About 4 camps up, sorry, 3 camps. This is, I feel like this is an overcommit now, because they know that it's warded. Spooks is going to go in. Oh, Hex Flash over the wall. You can see that they're looking for it. Spooks grabs it, and in goes Zach. We'll be able to flick Shern back. That's already stopwatch used. TP coming in from very far behind. See whether it will be enough. So FBI, Rogue, no flash actually just back up, but doesn't burn it straight away. That will be the ultimate used onto the Camille to try and keep her away. Stun will go out as well, so he will fall down. The blob's there, no teleport to save his life, however, so Spooks falls down. Triple gets that blue buff. Quite a greedy invade coming out from Direwolves, but it is not punished because of the TP disadvantage. Chippy makes his way into the back end of that fight. Swiffer has to invest the ulti to try and keep his carries alive. Unfortunately, Spooks dies through that passive. You mentioned no TP on the side of Tally.
But
Still
I would
has
say
that
that
ignite
is
to save
punished
him.
because Tally was so far behind.
Yep, true.
He was half the CS. He was 2 levels down. And then because of the death, because of the TP, now Tally can just go back to lane. Wave going to be pushing into him. And it's very hard. As soon as he hits level 6, Ornn's another one of those champions like Maokai. You dive in 1 to 5, sure. Level 6, we saw what Mimic did to that.
Yep.
He's not a fun champion to dive. So I think that is sacrificing your strong side of the map for the weak side of the map, which is a cardinal sin of League of Legends.
Absolutely, coming out. Spooks just doing his red buff right now. Chippies walked his way back to the top side, and as you mentioned, CS within reaching distance, 10 between the two right now. We don't have an Infernal Drake for the first Dragon of the game this time.
Bummer.
Instead, we've got an Earth, but because of these bot side plays, it does mean that King has netted himself about a 20 CS lead right now, and the wave is going to push into him as well. So
yeah, I mean,
he's going to pick that one up.
King has played a stellar series today.
He's flown under the radar.
Yeah, definitely flying under the radar. I just think that so far, everything he really has touched has just been good to great and hasn't really set a foot wrong whatsoever.
Yeah, and also been in these losing situations, game 2 and 3. They don't really spend a lot of resources on the side of the Direwolves in this bottom lane for the most part, but has looked good despite 20 CS lead, as we mentioned. Triple once again goes for the early QSS into the Malzahar.
Package is going to look top with that. You can see that Zach is also up there, has the ultimate available. Is this going to fizzle or do they commit?
Oh, they
commit. Teleport also coming in. Everyone is coming into this lane. That will be the interrupt. Really nice ultimate coming out of Cupcake, however, but the big knock-up from the Ornn is there, and Cupcake has been kidnapped back underneath that turret. That will be the suppression one more time onto Shern, and this is Order turning a 4-for-3 dive.
And you say, does it fizzle? But no, they commit. Tally's looking for more, flashes forward, but can't get any CC. Swiffer arriving there just at the end of the fight. Nethergrass keeps Shernfire under the turret. That's going to be his first death of the game. And you mentioned the number advantage for Direwolves, and they lose it anyway. This means that it's so easy for Rogue to keep King off this turret whilst they have a wave. 2v1 right now. No TPs on the side of Direwolves. They could look for a dive. They have about 20 seconds, 15 seconds to play with, but with the wave's position, probably just going to back away here.
Also the fact that King has both summoner spells up and available, and there is no level 6 on Rogue just yet. They should probably just take the reset that has been afforded to them. Also the fact that Cupcake comes back to lane having died, and with no summoner spells,
does get the cancel,
is a massive deal. Because you know that Order want to play through this bottom lane. Tally also has kind of caught back up. King is really pesky at the moment.
Yep, has that ward in the bush that Rogue's not respecting there. First one gets cancelled, tries for number 2, also gets cancelled. And in terms of comparing this to game 1, and game 2, now game 3, Swiffer, instead of being 0-2 in the early lane phase, 2-0, significantly far ahead of where he has been in the last 2 games. Bodes very well for Order in this third matchup. Spooks is looking for something.
Yeah, actually looking for King.
Flash.
Immediate flash out, and that will just be the summoner spell. Spooks just takes that and leaves. King had used the E for harass.
Yep. But nothing to slam him up against. The wave was not in range. He has to walk away there. Shern and Spooks just kind of fighting over a bit of vision right now. We saw the reverse of this last game, but Spooks has a level advantage. Shern looking around mid.
But I feel like even playstyle-wise, this just suits Spooks. He is more of the control zoning, team fighting jungler. I feel like Shern should be looking to like hard invade, be aggressive, and unfortunately that is just not the way these games are playing out. The longer they can battle ward against Shern, the better off I feel like this game is for Order, because Shern's not playing a style he is comfortable with.
Bit of a trade in the top side of the map now. Chippy still holding that advantage, about 20 CS, but
yeah, he's comfortable. This is actually what he's made his living off. This is what Chippy walks into Direwolves and collects his paycheck for, playing carries into tanks and doing it very well.
Yep. But unfortunately for them, the first dive they tried was not successful, so potentially not willing. Or ulti actually coming out. Nice dodge from
Chippies is off.
He's clean. He doesn't care. Dodges that one over the top. You know what it looks like when you do that? You know when you go to the beach and you got to dive under the waves?
Yeah.
Chippies is on that extra level where he's going over the waves.
He's jumping the waves.
Yeah, he's going over. He's a real tall man. Real tall man at the top lane.
However, something I want to point out, sneaky from Order.
Yeah.
See that control ward in
Yeah.
the closest brush. Chippies is going to spend most of the lane pushing up. And Swiffer has teleport and Chippies does not have.
A QSS. Oh, nice check.
Look at him. He's just He's next level.
I reckon that was an accident, though. I don't think he was checking for the vision. He just wanted the freeze right there. Walks into the bush. Luckily finds that one. So a potential opportunity missed by Order, unfortunately. They won't be able to pull the play on that one. Rogue has based a couple of times now. Still got that Ignite. So you know the Order bottom lane want to look for these fights. They want to get Spooks down there. They've invested ganks into this bottom side of the map.
Rogue is actually playing 4D chess. Everyone else is taking this mastery because they can swap to teleport, they can swap to cleanse, and Rogue is just like, I just want to flash on people.
Is that 4D chess, or is that just... Is he being the pigeon that walks around and poops on the table? He doesn't care. He doesn't care for your stupid games. He has that Ignite, straight for the cooldown. But pestering Schönfire in the river right now. Just playing the control game in the bot side river. Swiffer hasn't really found a proactive play to use his Malzahar ulti on so far.
Had the good reactive play top lane. Used it onto Shuren as well. That was the real tilter. He was just like, remember this from last game? As in goes Spooks.
Oh, lands. Oh,
didn't get the auto attack quickly enough.
Had to be very quick in that one. Stun does land onto Rogue. Angry fists the ground. Wasn't happy about that Dazzle.
Yeah, and then now they can potentially look to engage onto him, try and burn the ultimate. See Flail, second part lands. That's a bit you want to hit.
It just seems like this 3v3 around mid. The AD carries are content just farming it up in the bot lane. Hitting the 1v1, just farming the creeps right now.
And who scales better, Xayah, Ezreal?
They scale very differently.
Explain.
I think Xayah, once you get to late game, I mean, they're both very safe AD carries, but Xayah can very happily walk forwards and ulti over CC. So if Schönfire goes at him, Chippies goes at him, he can just ultimate and get a 4-man route or something like that if he wants to. Ezreal, the king of kiting around. Do they know Rogue's in this bush?
Yeah, they must know, but still they go in and they're looking for the play. Teleport is also being channeled from both Swiffer as well as, looks like it's going to be triple coming down here. So stopwatch is used. In goes Shern as well. Ultimate burnt, will flash forward and nail Swiffer. In comes Chippy one more time. That's going to be call of the Rambo. He missed it. Tally is going to fall down. Will take Cupcake with him. However, that is a crucial error. Huge turnaround here, and it is a 4-for-1 trade for the Direwolves. And quadra kill for triple.
An inconsequential miss for Tally, but the numbers disadvantage. Unfortunately for Order, Spooks does not have TP. Schönfire was already on the bottom side of the map, so it's a 4 versus 5, and they lose. That's going to be the first turret.
That's a 5,000 gold lead. This game was on a knife's edge. They go in for the play. Great Arcane Shift.
Yep, we saw that engage. Very good buffering of the CC right now. Swiffer actually flashes for that one. Burns that one early, wants to get onto Cupcake, but the stopwatches come up trumps here. Swiffer uses his as well to dodge out from this CC. He actually gets nailed there, but uses it to buy time. Ezreal ulti, Tally we see once again. Bit of a yikes there, but just too many members for the Direwolves. They just eating the lineup of Order. Spooks is in base right now. He has no business being in the bot side, and that was a bit of damage.
Certainly was. Big thing that I want to point out there is it looked like Order really wanted to kill Taric before the ultimate came off, but FEI had already used the Feather Recall. That's what you max. That's a skill that does a lot of the damage. He's not got a completed item right now. And King is 40 CS up in this matchup.
The big thing to note right now, triple 5-0 and 0. TP'd into that play without the Trinity Force completed. Bases already had the QSS, so now he finishes that first item. Huge spike, already has the sword.
And they go again.
Spooks.
See, Spooks flying over the top, misses that, however. See where they can continue the play. He flashes on top of him. Strange, maybe looking for a bit of a kidnap, scratches his head. I'm scratching my head as well.
Yeah, he, questionable decision there. Maybe looking for the flash ulti just for the knock-up, but did not even cast that one, so...
See whether they go for round 2 here. Does not look like it's going to be the case. So, Direwolves fend off the aggression on the top side of the map.
But
this is what they've done so well.
For Order to be looking for that play, they have to get a kill immediately. Triple 5-0 and 0 now will be able to push in Swiffer in the mid lane. He will be able to rotate up to that fight, and when he does, if Order are on his screen, they will be dying very quickly. So they back off. Direwolves going to pick themselves off a Rift Herald here. King just holding FBI in the lane. Trying to get some cheeky damage there.
Yeah, and I mean, he's going Trinity Force. He's going to be a huge damage set. This isn't a control Iceborne Gauntlet.
Yeah.
Going to be double Trinity on the side of the Direwolves. Triple Trinity, actually, as they have one on Camille as well.
Yeah, that's something we haven't talked about too much. Tally actually goes first item Righteous Glory here. So really wants to be able to influence these team fights when he does actually tipping into a play. Chippies.
But the Order lineup is just falling into such a hole right now. You can see turret is going to fall again top side of the map. And this is going to be a 6,000 gold lead before 20 minutes into the game. That is massive.
A 2,000 of it or just about, is on this mid lane matchup. Triple over Swiffer. See, in the top lane, Chippy also has a significant portion of that, but not to mention King, 2,000 as well over FBI. So all of the carry threats on Direwolves are ahead right now.
Yeah, 50 CS and 2 turrets. Really, Order have to hope for a mistake.
This is another one of those games, though. If Schönfire mismites a Baron and Spooks can pick that one up, there's so much standing gold once again for the lineup of Order to pick up. That gold lead will swing very heavily, but we're a long way away from that one so far. The next Drake will be Mountain. Direwolves are setting up the vision.
One Baron seal a series. I don't think he allows you to get 2. Surely not.
Schönfire allows you. Yeah. Is it really his decision?
I mean, of course it is. He's the one that you're smarting against.
Yeah, but I really don't think he was like, hey guys, look, I'm going to decide to give Spooks this one, you know, game 1. Give him false hope and then win the game anyway. But I mean, maybe he's on another level. Maybe he did.
Yeah. You see they, with these 2 Trinity Forces starting to poke in on that mid lane turret, will be able to take it down very low. In fact, they're going to grab it without even expending the Rift Herald.
Proc. Coming out clutch there for Cupcake. Does get the last hit on that turret. We mentioned they were setting up the vision control earlier for that Dragon, so they have all the control on the bot side of the map right now. Order floating top side. Probably going to be a non-contest when they do choose to pick that one up. Chippy's looking, but
Camille's a cool champion. See, why can't we have more champions like Camille? Flying around, dodging ulti.
I mean, Gangplank's a cool champion.
Nah, he's not.
Yeah, he is. You've got the barrel mechanics. Like, if you're a Thresh and you just whack a barrel, that's so satisfying. Also, if you get hit by a barrel, that's also not very satisfying. But there's outplay, you know. It's very difficult, but there is potential there.
Another mismite from Shern. 80 health, leaves that one off. Yeah. Whacks it with the flail instead.
He's too used to being so far ahead. In this game, it's fairly even, so his smite doesn't do enough damage right now.
Fairly even at a 6,000 gold advantage.
I mean, comparatively to Spooks, they're both level 10. I meant smite damage, come on.
Just pointing it out, mate.
Come on. But
Order apologists everywhere.
Oh, I'm the Order apologist. All right, the Rift Herald has about 1/3 left on the side of Schönfire, so Direwolves you'd think would be setting up for a play with that one. You don't want to have one of those expiry Rift Heralds where you just drop it into jungle and watch it walk seamlessly down a lane. But Order just seem to be matching right now. Tally's doing a good job of just sitting in the side lane. Very, very slowly losing in CS to Chippies, but has not been in danger for a very long time.
This is what you expect from a tank matchup. Really, with the exception of that bottom lane play that Spooks just was not at. The game's been relatively even. You would say that's what actually caused the turrets to be broken. But that one play was just so massive. They're looking for triple here.
Oh, they get it.
QSS is out.
It's a big cooldown.
Shern just kind of walks forward.
But I mean, we're talking about the fact that at 6 items, once you start burning that cooldown on the Malzahar, it's fairly short. I mean, earlier in the game, not as much CDR on the side of... I mean...
He's got 30%.
Yeah, he's popping right now.
It's already nearly a third
maxed.
done. In flies Spooks, but will take a boatload of damage in response.
That's going to be the heal burn on the side of King. Get himself out of that one and him and his support.
What's 2? Very interesting.
Rift Herald just about to expire, so Schönfire does set that one up, but they do have members here to contest the turret. Can they actually force this? Swiffer still about 40% of the cooldown left on this one as the wave does crash.
Yeah, you would think that this will actually be the turret falling down with how low FBI is. Potentially another... Shelly just... Oh, there she comes back. Cool. Wanted nothing to do with that turret for a second, and they're looking to actually break the base very early into this game. Order look kind of confused, and that one will fall down.
Rift Herald turns around, gives Swiffer the eye, but does fall down there. Order look like they're looking for an engage. They have the chase potential. They have so much CC and long-range engage. You have Ornn, you have Zac. Ali can follow it up.
But they're in a 10,000 gold hole.
Is up again, but yeah, you're right. Spooks is looking from the side. If they can get onto the carries
really
and pick
over. However, Shern has found him, and now the stun is out. Flash forward. In goes the Camille. Will be stunned, suppressed up. Very big ultimate coming across from Tally. Will knock up all 3 members and successful disengage from Order.
Yep, they do get themselves out of that one. Rogue very close to going down, but pop that ulti to get himself out of that. Oh, actually looking. Oh, that's close.
That's a spicy meatball.
Yep, King lands the damage. Unfortunately, it's just enough. Probably had that refillable potion ticking. Saved Rogue's life. When you get into a fight, ladies and gentlemen, hit that button. Hit your potion. It'll save you more often than you think, but...
If Triple goes for this play, actually, he's pinged out Spooks, so not going to go for it.
It's gold lead right now. 22 minutes into the game. About 9,000 in the favor of Direwolves. Very commanding victory. Pings are going onto the Baron right now, so you have to think after that Rift Herald, they were kind of setting up for the siege play, but Now that the Baron is up, there's nothing left for them on the map. They've broken the base somewhat. No inhibitor down, but the turret is gone.
Yeah, 3,000 on the 80 carry right now. 2,500 on the mid lane. Gold is just absolutely huge for Direwolves.
Every single member is up, but it means a lot more on these carries. Items fairly even. Schönfire and Spooks, but we said Books too. The Direwolves are looking at the top side of the map right now. Chippies and Tally have just been on an island down here for the longest time.
That's how Camille wants to play. Flash
that
forward,
hurts.
that hurts.
Misses that one, looking for the play once again, but just falls short. He has the Hex Flash, so it's not the end of the world, but in terms of proactivity.
All right, this one I will call you out for. You are the biggest Hex Flash apologist on the server.
Proactively, if you're winning the game and you burn your Flash like that, you have Hex Flash, it's all right. But because they're at this much of a deficit, I agree with you, 100%.
Swiffer is just
Not
looking
good.
to try and burn someone's QSS right now. King, potentially in range. No, it's not going to be the case.
Oh,
Over the
ulti
wall they
lands
go. Onto Spooks, and they destroy the jungler of the of Order. He will just fall down. No teleport expended to try and save his life.
Yeah, Chippy's just walked over. Didn't need to use that TP, so he can go back to the split bush if he wants to hold Tally into the side lane. That's the jungler down for Spooks. And this is the Direwolves Baron setup that we see time and time again. They just bring all 5 members and they just go.
Yeah, exactly right. They just commandingly pull the trigger. And this time it is Order to pay the price. You see, they're looking for potentially a contest. I feel like you can't let this go down with the base already broken. Rogue looking to get in, will get chunked out. Call of the Forge God will knock up 3 members, and they will successfully peel them back for now. Jern going very low.
Reset.
Baron reset. Order get the job done for right now. However, Spook's still running out of base.
Yep, has spawned, but nowhere to be found right now. Shot.
Oh,
Chippy's actually looking.
actually gets ulted up, and Chippies will fall down. That is an overreach, and in goes Order right now. Tally is absolutely massive. Gets a 3-man knock-up on the back end, and somehow
Spooks.
Order are looking to win this team fight. Spooks looking to slap members together. Gets 2 members, and Spooks still running forward. However, somehow King and Triple are just kiting around, dancing shoes on. And King is popping off for the Direwolves, picks himself up a triple kill.
And both teams hit them with the overreach there. You thought Direwolves pulled the trigger too early there. They got onto Order, but Spooks was coming on the backside, and Camille does go down. But then Order step just too far forward. The carries, King and Triple, we were talking about, they're so far ahead. They do so much damage. Neither of them has died.
And they're actually teleporting straight to Baron. This is going to be 2 teleports used. They know where King is. He goes over the wall. Very quick Baron. However, Spooks has Smite. Will they do it again? 4,000 health, 3,000 health, 2,000 health. If he just goes in the pit, cancel. However, now King's in there by himself. The knock-up does come out. Chippies flashes back in.
Yeah, they really want to take this Baron down.
I don't think they can take it because Chippies is so low by himself. And Rogue and Tally are both there. They have to just back away. Ultimate goes wide, but Rogue's dead. Call of the Forge God again will come out. This one is directed towards King. Will not hit. And maybe, just maybe, we'll have some peace and quiet on Summoner's Rift.
The most frantic of Baron attempts there from the Direwolves. They do see Spooks on that vision. They all go over the wall. Chippies flashes to get back and try and hold the aggro, but just not enough. This is the turn from Direwolves here. Order are trying to contest 4v5. Spooks is dead. But then Direwolves, they go forward here. They see the play. Chippies in a few seconds is going to get in, but the Malzahar ulti comes around as the defense. They're contesting, playing with the vision as we speed it up here, and this is the big play. Swiffer flashes out of the CC and actually kills Chippies 100-0 with the help of his team.
Oh, and King flash forward out of FBI, looks for the ulti, pulls them back, and King just lives somehow, some way. Now Cupcake looking to go forward, no flash available. He will get the root one more time, but he will fall down, and Tally and Swiffer now just have to head for the hills. See Spooks onto the back line. This is just such a sloppy fight out of Order. Tank versus tank. They draw their weapons, and I don't think you can save Swiffer. You just need to get out of their Spooks, and Swiffer falls down. Sure, now looking at Spooks as well. King back into the fight, headbutt pole, and the tanks are just going on. But King, he's so slippery. He's got enough life still in his kit right now to just continue the fight. And Order, look, really out of sorts right now. 15,000 gold is the lead for Direwolves.
We don't see the setup of that play because of the replay, but FBI overreaches for the King. Kill onto King. He lives and eventually is the one to claim the fight.
That could potentially be the game. The recalls are the respawns are so staggered. You're going to see Rogue in about 10 seconds as well as Swiffer. But Tally is still 33 seconds away. They won't go for it. They'll instead just go for a hard reset, potentially into Baron.
Yep, Direwolves looking for that reset. They want to take away with the Baron. They've tried so hard to get for the majority of this game. The gold lead is absolutely enormous. That's 16,000 in the favor of Direwolves. It's almost insurmountable, it seems, but ORD keep trying to find these engages, potentially just looking frantic because they know they're not going to win an out-and-out team fight. Yeah, if Direwolves get to set up around the Baron, they will lose the fight, so they're looking for these picks.
They need a fight when King or Triple isn't there. If both the 80 carries are on the screen, lights out. Yeah. They are so far ahead right now.
Ideal scenario when King and Triple aren't there, but good luck finding that one. Be a bit of a yikes deploy out of the Direwolves if they do get that one, but clearing out the vision once again, just going to slowly set this one up, and this has kind of been what we've seen from games where the Direwolves are winning. Last game obviously did not look this clean, but actually, Tally might be caught.
Has a little bit of trouble in Arcane shift forward. King. Bit of damage coming through. They continue on to Rogue. He has to ulti, and he's just so squishy still. See that Swiffer now has to flash away as well. Call of the Forge God is there. Will be knocked towards King, but doesn't really do all that much. And now Direwolves say we have complete control of this. King Arcane shifts in, takes all of the health of FBI. However, that is Triple going in very aggressively. Will get turret aggro, and you can see that they actually pick up the kill. Shutdown is there. Swiffer looking to see if he can get his way back into this team fight. He actually stuns up the Taric one more time, and ORD will successfully defend the base.
Somehow, despite the gold lead, Direwolves overreach once more. They're looking for the end. They're looking for those extra kills, and King is just doing so much damage. He's the entire reason they're in this position anyway. He's eating forward, applying that slow, doing the damage. Tally.
Oh, here goes Rogue. Headbutt Pulv is available. He wants King so bad. Headbutts him back towards the team. Pulverize does not hit QSS. King is a monster today.
The reactions out of that was instant. QSS E-Flash heal to get himself out of danger. Rogue did not buffer the combo. They just went for the headbutt. Actually going to cancel the base. Looks again. His snipes are on point. He's looking good. He lands them. They haven't killed anyone, but they've been very, very close.
Yeah, certainly have been. And ORD are just losing farm everywhere because they're prioritizing fighting. You can see that Spooks is on side lane duty right now.
Zach, not the best side lane cleaner.
And this game needs to go for an out for ORD to win. However, I don't think Direwolves are going to let them do that because whilst Direwolves right now look like they are willing to just have a little bit of a biff every now and again, I think that they will focus Baron quite shortly.
They're looking for something. Spooks trying to get some form of vision out right now, but
they might just be caught again.
Direwolves, they do see him.
Gets cancelled on the jump.
The
He's
flash.
just dead. I mean, there's nothing Spooks can do. Recalls in the same brush twice. Direwolves are always going to check it before they do Baron. And that will be the jungler of ORD dead. And Direwolves will collect a free Baron.
ORD just going to clean up their side lanes right now. And you'd have to think this is going to be the winning push out of Direwolves. They didn't even need to use any ultis to get onto Spooks there. They cancelled the E with a Sedge Q. Nothing available. Still 20 seconds. If they can push this wave in, they might have some time 4v5 under that top lane turret. Rogue going to get a base off again. Has that spell book. Most importantly, has the flash available. No TPs to flank out for Tally.
And they're just going to have to give everything until Spooks is up and available because he's really the only surprise factor from such deep range that they have. See, Chippies is currently in the mid lane. They will get vision of him now, so potentially if they want to go quick, they can. You can see King rooted up there. However, FBI got one Mystic Shot, Arcane Shot? Mystic Shot? As well as a Rocket, and was like, all right, guys, we're healing.
King just going to lifesteal it back up. Rogers to silence out. That's a big thing for the Malzahar, being able to silence his carries. But can ORD actually hold this one? The wave clear is not too big for this lineup of ORD right now. Direwolves just go through the base. They do get rooted up, but they just don't care. Triple
going forward actually gets the ulti out of FBI. So potentially if Shern now gets a clean engage, will not be able to keep himself alive. And you can see right now, they just want to end the game. They're not waiting for super creeps. They've got Baron on 2 waves. Super creep number 1 now appears. And they have to go. Call of the Forge God out. They ulti Shern again. Onto King, bring him back into the team fight. However, Chippy's on the back line. And ORD are just not tanking enough. They are absolutely getting decimated right now. Direwolves want this 2-1. They want to reclaim top spot of the OPL and prove they are still the best squad within Oceania. And they do it 32 minutes in. Direwolves will 2-1 ORD.
And ORD, they do get the engage at the end of that fight, but the gold lead is just absolutely enormous for the Direwolves there, that team fight. They got onto King, they got him out of the Tara culti, but it just was too little too late. The carries were so fed, the tanks were so fed, everyone on Direwolves was just so strong. Strong. And it wasn't enough. That's going to be the 2-1 going to Direwolves.
Yeah, and when you break that series down, when Direwolves were able to get those big turret dives bottom lane, when they were able to get lots of people there early and really support Cupcake and King, who had a fantastic series in my opinion, they came out the victor. Yeah,
I think that's something definitely to highlight. Cupcake and King weren't the flashiest of players in that series, but I think game 1, 2, and 3.
King in the last game.
I mean, well, yep, I'll give you that one. But overall, over the course of the whole series, played phenomenally, I think. And a great performance out of him, and that's not something you would expect stylistically coming into the match. We're talking about Schernfire. We're talking about Chippies, those two in the 2v2 top side. Triple, add that to the mix. But no, it was King in the last game that really came up trumps.
Yeah, it certainly was. And Order, I mean, they looked like a frustrated team in the last game. They just kept throwing ultimate after ultimate at Direwolves, trying to catch them out. And the teams will shake hands. Actually, pretty big grins on the Order boys' faces. Direwolves would be happy to reclaim top spot of the OPL. That's, of course, what was up for grabs. But, I mean, some frustrated gameplay out of Order maybe for the first time.
I mean, I think definitely. We were talking about it, this matchup is their first real test. They've played the bottom 3 teams coming into this week's play, and now they're faced with the Direwolves, the reigning champions.
So did they pass? That is a big question, because I think that a team 4 weeks old coming in and smacking around the Direwolves. I know people were talking about the first Oceanic Super Team, but I don't think that that's really going to happen. Did Order show enough today to be a legitimate contender?
I mean, I think they are a legitimate contender. We've seen Direwolves, they beat the Chiefs as well. That was a 2-1, so Order definitely held their own.
Not playing, however.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Schernfire game 2 didn't look the best, honestly, but I mean, Order definitely put their hat in the ring, but I think it was a good performance overall. Game 3 was very one-sided, I think, but they did win a match.
Yeah, and at the same time, I think the members of Direwolves I want to shout out are the members that weren't there for the championship last year. Triple, very admirable performances up against Swiffer. Veteran mid laner. Cupcake, also going toe-to-toe with Rogue and FBI down there in the bottom lane. Certainly looked very impressive, and, you know, people were worried. Fantic's retirement, Destiny now on the Chiefs, is Direwolves still going to be top dog? And right now the answer seems to be yes. In fact, they're bolstered by the new addition.
Yeah, 100% agree with you. Triple coming into Direwolves for the 2018 season, myself and a few other people yes, he was the best player for AV last season, but is it tall poppy syndrome? You know, if his team's underperforming, it's very easy for him to look good, but then game 3, game 2, and game 1, all of these games so far in this series over Swiffer played phenomenally.
Yeah, certainly did. And I mean, at the same time, Chippies still had very good performances. They didn't really play towards top side of the map as we predicted they would, but shows that he's still one of the best split pushers in the league and able to control the tempo of the game.
Yeah, absolutely agree with you. Not to mention, going back to Triple, he played 4 games of Malzahar coming into this game against Order, right? And he actually showed some diversity. They didn't get that too much in this series. Swiffer playing 2 games of it in game 2 and 3, but just had his number, I think.
Yeah, certainly did. So let's hear from the man that Ejim keeps talking about. Let's throw it over to Laura, who's alongside with Swiper and Triple.
Thank you very much, guys. Yes, we have Triple here with us. I mean, this was quite a hype series, the battle for first and second on the leaderboard. We saw at the end there, Chippies gave you a little hug after you got the win there. Was this an important series for you, and what were your expectations coming into today's games?
Yeah, it's the battle for first, right? Of course it's important. But I don't know, no expectations really. I just wanted to come here and play my game. Yeah, that's what happened.
My question is more just in related to yourself. Like, how have you found the move going from Avant to Direwolves into this really hard mentality, just hard working? How are you adapting to that?
I mean, honestly, it's much more chill than you think. Actually, I mean, the outside perspective is that it's we're all super hard and everything. We are hard, but it's it's fun as well.
Yeah, okay.
In saying that, why do you think the Direwolves are so good then? What splits you and separates you from other teams?
I think we just want it more. We just care more and want to win more, so that's why.
Okay, I have to bring it back to that very first game because it had everyone on the edge of their seats when that base race was happening. What was going through the comms and what was going through your head?
As cool as a cucumber, man. It's just, it's like, I don't know, Chibi's just stop the bases. And then, yeah, we just wanted to play on the edge of our limits. So we'll tickle them, but like not mess with them, right? So yeah.
You had a great performance in that mid lane today as well. I wanted to ask how you found it going up against Swiffer, because you put a lot of, well, the Direwolves put a lot of resources into getting you ahead and punishing him in that mid lane. But how did you find it going up against him?
I got the matchups I wanted, so that's all I really needed. Like game 3, I saw the draft, and I'm like, we have such a good comp, we can't lose this game, right? So yeah, shout out to Sharp for the draft, pretty much.
And just to elaborate on that, I'm just wondering, what are your thoughts on like the mid lane pool this split? There's always a lot of hype going into the seasons with like the mid laners, like the top 4 is like really high, but like I would say consistently wise, it's not there at the moment. And I would say like I would say you in particular is really consistent. And yeah, just wondering your thoughts on what you think about that.
You're talking about the players?
Yeah, the player pool. So what is your thoughts on the player pool? Like,
I don't know, honestly. It's very tight at the top, but not including myself, I think Claire is playing really well right now. He's like a standout for me.
Okay.
Well, congratulations on that win triple. Thank you for joining us on the couch.
Thank you.
Also, a big thanks to Big Swifts
been great,
today
boys.
for joining
great,
us.
guys.
It's been a lot of fun. But to close out what has been a huge weekend of League of Legends, let's hand it over to Jake and Bryce.
Thanks so much, Laura. Always good to hear from Triple. Cool as a cucumber. He certainly is. Nothing really phases him. And I think that cool demeanor does come through in the gameplay.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to be the first player to get asked a question to be like, oh, yes, thank you to my coach. It was wonderful. Thank you, Sharp. That's fantastic. So, yeah, I mean, that is pretty cool. That is pretty cool.
Certainly is. And I mean, Sharp is someone that we have complimented a lot. Certainly sent his team into that best of 3 with the best chances of being able to pick up the result.
Yeah, and I mean, in the interview with Laura, right, he was noting that they are just a very insular team. They look inwards. They're not too worried about Order. Everyone's saying, like, oh, can they actually get the upset win? Are Order the team to beat the Direwolves? And then evidently not this week. But saying that their preparation was just stock standard. They're like, we take them as another team, we find their strengths and weaknesses and just work on themselves. And I guess you kind of see that in Triple now, transitioning from AV to Direwolves into that mentality.
Yeah, and I think that's a good mentality to have, because whilst it was Order versus Direwolves for top of the ladder, it is also week 4, day 2 of the OPL, and it is a very new season, and Direwolves do regain spot, but we're going to also see that game played again, I believe, in week 8.
I think it's week 6, actually.
Week 6?
Yeah, after Super Week, will be, Order taking on...
That's week 7. Is it?
No, we're in week 4 right now. Super Week will be week 5. So then
there's 2 Super Weeks.
Oh yeah, there is. So it will be actually week 7. It's an absolute disaster from me scheduling.
I'm just trying to help him out here, and he keeps fighting back. Let's take a look at the results as we bring him up onto the screen. Be quiet, Bryce. It was Avant Gaming taking a 2-1 victory over Tectonic before the Chiefs Esports Club took down old rivals there in Legacy. Sin Gaming were able to buck the blue side trend by picking up a 2-1 victory over the Bombers before Direwolves reclaim the spot as top dog within the OPL, taking down Melbourne Order. Of course, that does leave Direwolves actually
because
they have head-to-head. They won a game. They have 10 points. Chiefs will be 3rd, Avant Gaming 4th, and Legacy 5th. Sin Gaming are now 6th, and it is going to be Bombers and Tectonic. But for those 3 bottom teams, 2-0s become important because there is a big points deficit to make up.
Yep, absolutely. But not to mention the saving grace of this week of OPL, to be honest. The bottom 3 teams, they all have at least 1 point. Nobody's sitting on the 0 right now, so overall big improvement in that regard, I think. Of course, that was going to happen with Sin taking on Bombers today, and Sin did pick up the victory. Honestly, unsuspecting, to be honest. Like, on paper, I feel like the Bombers lineup should have been able to take that one, but unfortunately, the upset coming out from Sin, the boys from Juves, get that victory today.
Yeah, certainly do. As we take a look ahead to next week's schedule, it will be Super Week, Lunar New Year, Year of the Dog, big celebrations happening in the OPL. It's going to be Legacy versus Avant Gaming before Bombers take on Direwolves. That will be Friday night, guys. So make sure you're tuning in 5 p.m. Australian Daylight Saving Time. And then it's going to be Order versus the Bombers for a rematch of the Melbourne Derby before Chiefs take on Avant Gaming. Big week of games for Avant. Sin versus the Direwolves. They get a little bit of a break before Tectonic take to Summoner's Rift versus Legacy. Bryce, we could go the distance of 18 games next week. I don't know if you've ever casted a Super Week. It is special. Which couple of games are you looking forward to? Because we've got so many, I feel like I should give you a smorgasbord.
Yeah, the Melbourne Derby will be interesting, but my main threat, I think, is the first game of the weekend. Now, not even the weekend, the Friday. Very first match, Legacy versus AV. The last time these teams faced off against each other, Legacy were coming in as the favourites, but AV with a very swift, very decisive upset 2-0 over the roster decimated the fans of Legacy's hopes, and I'd like to see the rematch.
Yeah, I also think both Avant games are actually huge. They need to prove if they are, you know, that top 3 team coming into it. However, that is all the OPL action we have for you. Why are you complaining? You had the most possible people at home. However, on behalf of myself, Bryce, Laura, everyone that's joined us on the analyst couch, as well as our entire production crew, and of course, Hungry Jacks, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week, Friday for Super Week. Will flash forward and nail Swiffer. In comes Chippy one more time. That's going to be call of the round. He missed it. What? Tally is going to fall down. Will take Cupcake with him. However, that is a crucial error. Huge turnaround here, and it is a 4-for-1 trade for the Direwolves. Quadra kill for Triple. And actually gets ulted up, and Chippies will fall down. That is an overreach. And in goes Order right now. Tally is absolutely massive. Gets a 3-man knock up on the back end. And somehow Order are looking to win this teamfight. Spooks looking to slap members together. Triple gets 2 members. And Spooks still running forward. However, somehow King and Triple are just kiting around. Dancing shoes on. And King flash forward out of FBI. Looks for the ulti. Pulls them back. And King just lives. Somehow, some way now, Cupcake looking to go forward. No flash available. He will get the root one more time, but he will fall down. And Order are just not tanky enough. They are absolutely getting decimated right now. Direwolves want this 2-1. They want to reclaim top spot of the OPL and prove they are still the best squad within Oceania, and they do it. 32 minutes in, Direwolves will 2-1 Order.